Bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we start a new sutta, which is called the Raja Sutta. It's a quite interesting sutta, which gives an advice for the monks regarding what they should talk and what they should not.
Sorry, Bhante.
So it's yeah.
Please start sharing your
Shall I
screen.
change it? Sorry, I'm just sharing. Wait, just wait.
Okay.
I didn't share it. So this Raja Sutta explains about the talks that we should do and talks that we should abstain from. It's a very interesting sutta, short sutta, because monks were talking about something not necessary, unrelated to the practice. So the Buddha asked them not to do such talks, there are few grammatical points to be discussed. So I have given in the vocabulary handout also some points. So I'd prefer if someone can translate it, the sutta translate.
Yes, Bhante, I would like to try.
Okay, so
so you wish the whole yeah. Sutta, Bhante?
If you can, it's yeah. If you can, please translate 2 paragraphs. Then 2 plus 2 paragraphs.
Okay, Bhante. So, evam me suttam ekam samayam bhagava sawatiyam viharati jettawane. Yes, Bhante. Anatapindikasa arame. Thus have I heard on one occasion, the blessed one was in Sawati, in Jeta's Grove, at Anatapindika's monastery. Tenako pana samayena sambahulanam bhikkhunam pachavatam pindapata patikantanam upatana salayam sanisinanam sanipatitanam ayamantarakata udapadi. On that occasion, many monks, on returning from the alms round after the meal, were assembled and seated in the assembly hall. The talk arose. Konuko auso imesam dwinam rajunam mahadanatarowa mahabogatarowa mahakosatarowa mahawijitatarowa mahawahanatarowa mahabalatarowa mahidikatarowa mahanubhawataro Raja wa Magado Senio Bimbisaro Raja wa Pasenadi Kosaloti. Friends, which of these 2 kings has the greatest wealth, or the greatest riches, or treasury, or kingdom, or vehicles, or power, or might, or the greatest majesty? The king Bimbisara, the Magadan, or the king Pasenadi of the kingdom of Kosala? Ayancharahi tesam bhikkhunaam antarakatha hoti vipakkata. This conversation, or in the in-between talk among the monks, was left unfinished. Atako bhagawa sayama samayam patisalana Wuttito yenu patana sala tenupasankame. Then the blessed one, emerging from seclusion in the evening time, went to the assembly hall. Upasankamitwa panyate asane nisidi. Having arrived, he sat down on the prepared seat. Nisajako Bhagawa Bhikkhu Amantesi. Having sat down, the Blessed One addressed the monks. Kayanuta Bhikkhave Etarahi Kataya Sanisina Sanipatita Kacha Panavo Antarakata Vipakatati. What is the talk about monks amongst those who have assembled and are seated now that was left unfinished? And then the monks go to explain the question that they were asking. Should I continue, Bhante?
We'll discuss the paragraph first. Thank you very much for your translator. Thank you. And very nicely done. Thank you. The last sentence, I'll explain a bit about how to translate it. The Kaya Nutta Bhikkave Tarahi Kataya Sannisina. Before that, we'll explain the grammatical points. Thank you very much for the translation. Thank you. Evam mesukan samayam bhagava savatyam natpindikasarami. I think everyone can understand it. Nakopana samayena sambahulanam bhikkhunam paccābat vikkantānam ayamantara kata udapadi. So this is the sentence. Now this sentence is quite long. Tenakopana samayena is the instrumental of time. So then if you look into the subject of this sentence, this verb is udapadi. You can see the verb is udapadi. Ayam antara kata, we have to divide it as ayam plus antara kata. Ayam antara kata udapadi. This in between talk arose in there. Another talk, we can have two talks. This talk, the different or other talk or in between talk arose among them. That is what we want to say, among them. So this, all these words you can see, this talk appeared among the monks, bhikkhunam, right, among the monks. So who are these monks? Sambahulanam bhikkhunam, among the many monks. So now we explain about their characteristics. Who are they? Paccābattam pindapāta patikkantana. So pindapāta patikkantana means who have restrained, who have returned from who have finished their pindapāta and they have come. They have, so we also normally say pindapāta. We normally say who have restrained from pindapāta after the lunch. Then upattana salayan sannisinana. These are also genitive case. Who have sat down. Sannipatitana, who have gathered. So this talk appeared among the monks who had restrained from pindapāta after the lunch. Paccābattang is after the lunch, after the meal. Then upattana salaya sannisinnana sannipatitana, who had sat together and who had gathered in the upattana sala. This is locative case. So this locative case explains about the location of this sannipatita and sannisinna, where they have sat and where they have gathered. And pindapāta patikkantana, so Paccābattang explains about the pindapāta patikkantana. They have restrained from pindapāta after the Paccābattang is after the lunch. After the lunch. So when we say Paccābattang, this refers to, we can have two meanings on this. So one is you after the meal, anytime after the meal. So even evening is called Paccābattang. But in one rule we find in the Vinaya Pitaka, Pure Battang ma Paccābattang. That Paccābattang means that is after the meal but before the noon. So it's an offense. Like for example, if we are invited to some house, when the invitation is there, if we go to the village without letting, we go without informing any monk in the monastery, after the meal, before the noon, there is an offense. So because people used to bring because they were invited, people used to bring food. And also after the meal also, one time they sent some food that they wanted to offer, like desserts and all. So when the monk has gone, without informing others, the remaining monks had difficulties in dealing with the food. So in that case, Batang refers to the time, we call that Vineru, refers to the time which is after the meal, but so here it refers to any time after the meal, after they have had that food. So here these red colored words, Paccābattam Pindapāta Patikkana, it is connected to Pindapāta Patikkantanam. Upattana Salayang is referred to the Sannisinanam Sannipatitana. This Upattana Sala is connected to Sannisina and Sannipatita because they have the action meanings. Like they sat in the Upattana Sala, they gathered in the Upattana Sala. Upattana Sala, according to the commentary, they refer, Buddha used to give talks because when the Buddha had attended, the monks used to do the duties like respect him and do all the duties for him. And also this is the hall, this is also the hall where monks used to gather and discuss Dhamma, discuss about the Vinaya matters and so forth. So monks used to gather there. So Upattana have two meanings. So Upattana means you come close, means you attend to some place, you attend to someone, that is called also Upattana. You do the duties to someone, you do the service to someone, that is also called Upattana. So it is either the place where monks used to do the servings for the Buddha after he had come, or it is the place where monks used to gather frequently. So that is the meaning of Upattana Sala. Salayang is the locative case. So it is the place where monks have sat and monks have gathered. So then we come into the rule. This is called now Sambahulan Sannipatitanang, Sambahulanam Bhikkhunang Sannipatitanang Ayamantarakata Udapadi. So here it is like when something occurs within a group of people, we normally use the locative case or the genitive case, right? We use the locative cause or the genitive case. It's like if something occurs within some people. So if you go to the lecture notes, we can bring it as a rule. I think I have given it in the vocabulary if my memory was correct. So if something occurs within a group, something happens in a group of people, that when some incident occurs within a group of living beings, the group is written either in genitive or locative case. So normally it's written in the plural form. It's a group. That's the normal procedure. But maybe it is possible that we may have a singular form. I'm not giving a I'm not very confident on that, but the usage of genitive and locative is confirmed. Like it is, if something happens within a group of people, we use either the locative cause or the genitive case. So this is the, so if we gave the examples here, Bhikkhunaṁ Katha Udapadi. It means a talk appeared among the monks. Right? A talk appeared among the monks. Or we can say Bhikkhusu Katha Udapadi. So this is the first grammatical rule I would like to discuss. If you have any what I have explained so far.
Bhante.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, Bhante. I think
Father Robin. Yes.
I think your connection start to stutter a bit, Bhante.
Couldn't you hear what I said? Is it not clear?
Yes, Bhante. The last explanation is clear, Bhante. But there are a few occasions that the
Okay.
sound starts to stutter, Bhante.
Okay. I'm using the data actually. Because the data was better than before. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see. So this is the first grammatical rule that I would like to discuss. Then we go to the second, go back to the sutta. So in the second rule, they are discussing, their discussion was, Konuko also imesan binnang rajunang mahadhanatarova, mahabhogatarova, mahakosatarowa, mahavijitatarova, mahavahanatarova, mahabalatarova, mahayova, rajava magado senio bimbisaro, rajava pasenadi kosalo. This was their discussion. So they are now having a discussion about who is mighty is more among the two kings. That is the general idea. So here they are asking, is it Magado Senio Bimbisaro, the Bimbisara, the king Bimbisara, who has great army, or Raja Pasenadi Kosalo, the king Pasenadi, who was the ruler of the kingdom of Kosala. Right? And Senia Bimbisara, the Bimbisara who had great army and who was the ruler of the kingdom of Magadha. Who is more Mahadhanatarova, who has more wealth or wealthier, Mahabhogatarova, who also has the wealth that is being used again and again. We can have various translations on this. Mahakosatarova, who has the treasuries, Mahavijitatarova, who has the great kingdom, larger kingdom. Mahavahanatarova, who has the great vehicles. Those days the vehicles were the elephants and the horses, who has the most number of vehicles. Mahabalatarova, who has the great power in the army. Mahindikatarova, who is more prosperous, we can say it's according to the commentary, who is more meritorious, who is more blessed with merits. So whatever he wished is accomplished in his kingdom. So that is called Mahindikatarova. So it's like they were talking about the past karmas, who were, whatever they wished were accomplished without much difficulty. Then Mahanubhavatarova, who's we normally translate it as whose Anubhava, whose magnificent majesty, splendor is higher than the other. So now they were discussing on this, who is more. So for this, to discuss who is more among these two, Imesang Vinnang Rajuna. This is the grammatical usage. This is called Nidharane Samyochana. Nidharana. Nidharana means there are two people. Now, few people, we select one. If we select one person out of the 10, or if we select one person out of the 2, so this is called Nidharana in Pāli. So here we can say, among these two, who is wealthier, who has more wealth that is used daily or occasionally used, who has more larger treasuries, number of treasuries. So among these two, whose spender is higher? So therefore, they are using the genitive case in this instance. So the usage is in the Pāli, we call it nidharana vachana. Nidharana. When you use nidharana. So nidharana means selecting or choosing one out of many. So one out of many. So in this, we use either genitive case. This is mostly plural normally. Genitive case or locative case. Right. It can be, for example, nidharana. Now in Kachayana, we find in the first suttas the word tattha. Tattha is also can be nidharana. The word tattha is among them. So therefore, sometimes even the indeclinables can be used in this sense. But here, mostly it is used with the plural because we are choosing one out of the many. For example, if we say the first person out of the 10, right, or one person out of the 10. So we say dasasu, manusesu. Among the 10 people, dasa is 10. Dasasu manusesu, locative plural. Eko puggalo, one man, or patamo puggalo, something like that. Or the first man, if you use. Another example, dasasu manusesu patamo puggalo. Among the 10, the first one. Among the 10, one person. Or we can say dasanang manussanang eko puggalo, or the same dasanang manussanang patamo puggalo. So we can use all. So this is called nidharana, selecting one out of the lot. Like you take out something out of the lot. So here we use locative, genitive or locative, one by genitive and locative meaning. Yeah, any questions? They had, these are the discussion they had. They were having one kind of a debate, like who is more powerful. Ayan charahit tesam bhikkhunaṁ antarakata hoti vippakata. So before that, this antarakata arose in them, and that antarakata is vippakata. Vippakata means has to be stopped without completely finishing. It has to be finished in between, like without bringing into completion. So antarakata, we have three meanings for this antarakata in the Udāna commentary. We have three meanings given in the antarakata for the Udāna commentary. So one meaning is antarakata. The three meanings of antarakata are, according to is, one is a talk other than, contemplation, the meditation subject, or studying, preaching, or questioning the Dhamma. So it's like contemplating is kammatthana manasikara. You contemplate the meditation subject. Preaching is uddesa, preaching or teaching. That's better to say. Teaching or questioning, paripuccha. So sometimes, these kammatthana manasikara, uddesa, paripucchadinam antara anya ekakata. So this was sometimes we do contemplation in sound, reciting. That is also one way of doing the meditation, reciting the meditation subject, and we teach the Dhamma, and sometimes we question the Dhamma. So this talk was something other than that. So it was called Antarakata. So a talk other than. So it's sometimes this word Antara here refers Anya. The meaning of Anya. It's an adjective, other. Another meaning is Samanacharaseva Antara. Samana Samacharasya means this is also something like the behavior of monks, the acts of monk. So maybe they were referring to the meditation. So a talk that happened other than the Samana Samachara. I'm not very exactly sure about this meaning. So Samana Samachara sometimes it can refer to the practice that we do as monks. So then that's the third meaning. The second meaning is it has a different one. It's like the talk. Now normally the Buddha, after coming from Pindapata, before going for the seclusion, he gives Sugata, meaning he will give a Dhamma talk. So this talk appeared between the Sugatovada of the noon and between the Dhamma talk in the evening. So in this sense, this is the talk which arose in between two sessions. That was the two sessions. The talk which occurred between the after the Sugatovada advice of the Buddha in the noon, and the Dhamma talk in the evening. So in this sense, the word Antara has the meaning of in between, Majje. Meaning of Majje, a talk which happened in between. That's why in the translation I give it as an in-between talk. So we can explain it as an Anya talk, the other talk, or a talk in between two sessions. So this is the Antarakata. So this Antarakata, if you go back to the Sutta, this Antarakata was Vipakata. Ayan Charahi. This Charahi has no meaning. This Charahi, according to the commentary, has no meaning. Charahi has no meaning. So it's just a word. So Ayang Charahi. So this Nigahita, this Nya, the Nigahita is changed into Nya. So then this Nya is coming. The Charahi. So Ayang Tesam Bhikkунang Antarakata Hoti Vipakata. So here, this talk of monks, Bhikkунang Antarakata. Tesam Bhikkунang Antarakota Hoti Vipakata. So this talk of these monks, was finished, was stopped without completely finishing. Antarakata Vipakata Hoti. So here we can see This is a past participle. Vipakata means finishing, like stopping something without finishing. Now, for example, we can say someone started to make a robe and that making of robe was interrupted because of some reason. So we say the Chivara was Vipakata. It was not completed. That's the meaning. So this talk, they didn't come into conclusion in their debate. So they had to stop because the Buddha approached them, right? Tesang antara kata hoti.
Sorry, Bhante. Hello, Bhante. Bhante. Bhante Maga.
Monks was stopped, interrupted.
Hello, Bhante.
Yes.
Oh, we couldn't hear anything.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
Bhante,
Bhante.
Vipakata, you got caught.
Okay.
We caught from Anya Andaragata.
Really?
Yes, I called you long time, but I think you continue talking. You couldn't hear my sound. That's why.
Oh, sorry. You mean antara from the word antara kata?
No, when you explain the Sutta, you say Anya Andaragata. So after that, I couldn't hear anything. You said
Okay.
Vipakata.
I was in the sutta. I was in the sutta, right?
Yes, yes.
I finished the lecture notes, right?
Yes,
I will
lecture
explain.
was already
Okay.
finished.
Okay, right. So
Antara
this
kata,
antara kata vipakata. This can be anya antara kata or like some another antara kata, or it can be a talk in between the two sessions. Whatever it is, that talk was interrupted. It was vipakata. The word vipakata means something is stopped without bringing into completion, without completing it. So for example, if we start making a robe, if our robe making was interrupted, stopped by whatever means, we call the robe was vipakata. Robe was not completed. So therefore, so this word vipakata refers to something has stopped without being completed, So this talk was stopped because the Buddha has approached the Upattana Sala, the Dhamma hall. Yeah, the talk of monks was stopped. This is what I explained.
Bhante?
So if you have any questions, yeah.
Bhante, yes, I want to ask about the Tesang Bhikkhu Bhante.
Okay.
In this sentence, is it possible if we translate it to as a monk Bhante?
Because normally if something occurs within a monk, we normally use the word among. Because if you look into the sentence, the previous sentence, I am antarakata udapadi. So I am antarakata udapadi. This talk happened in between them. So here it's better to say te sam bhikkhunaṁ antarakata hoti vipakata. It's better to say the talk of these monks
Okay, Bhante.
was interrupted.
So back into genitive, Bhante.
Yeah, it's better to say. So even if you say the talk between the monks, among the monks was interrupted, I will not say it's wrong. Yeah, we can have the both ideas. Won't be a problem. But in the previous one is very clear because the talk occurred among them. So that's why we give that a special usage.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you, Bhante. Sorry, Bhante. I have one more about the
Yes.
the taro is for comparison, right, Bhante?
Yes. Yeah. Comparing normally who is more than among two. Normally,
okay,
tama
Bhante.
ending with tama is superlative. That's how we normally translate. This is comparative. Tara is comparative. Tama is superlative.
Oh, so the back will be Mahaboga Tamo, for example, Bhante.
Yeah, if we have three people, and who is most the highest would get tamo.
Oh, okay,
Normally,
Bhante.
if there are two people are compared, we use the tara.
Oh, okay, Bhante. Thank you so much, Bhante.
So then, yeah, we did
Hi,
both.
Bhante.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a question about the two words. So the word patita, and the word, I think the other word, so but basically they are the same. So the word patita. So in your vocabulary list and in the part of the grammar, you translated it as it has a passive voice meaning. So for example, here you say, Sanipatita ng Bhikkhu ng Antarakatha Udabadi, and you can translate it as an in-between talk arose among the gathered monks. And then the other example, you also see Sanipatitesu Manusesu Vivado Udabadi is a dispute arose among the men who were gathered. So you have the passive voice meaning. But then in the lecture you just gave right now, you translate it as who have gathered together. So it doesn't have the passive meaning. So I'm kind of want to know whether or not it has a passive meaning or the active meaning.
Bhante, you didn't turn on your microphone.
Sorry. So now, sorry. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. So yes, I think everyone can see this, right? This is the point you were telling, because here I gave it as were. So in this, a dispute arose among them. Is always a active voice word. So not the monks who were gathered, who have gathered. So yeah, so it should be active voice sentence.
Yes.
Sorry for my mistake.
Yes. Okay, Bhante. So so what it means is that this verb is intransitive verb, right, Bhante?
Yes, sanipatati. Yes,
It's
intransitive.
intransitive verb. Okay.
Yeah.
So but the word sanipatati is a past participle, right, Bhante?
Patita, yeah, sanipatita is a past participle. Yes.
Okay. So and then this one, I think this is related to like the one of the points you talked about in the lecture, maybe a few lectures ago, about the verbal noun. And then you said that for past participle, for example, the word pachati, it refers to something that been cooked. So it has passive meaning. So from my understanding is that that point only applies to transitive verb. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Because if it's intransitive, then it doesn't have that meaning.
Yeah, it doesn't have that meaning. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Because we have three usages. If the root is intransitive, and if the root is a root with motion, in these two cases, if it is a root with a motion and if it is a root intransitive root, the ta suffix connected word will be active voice. Like tara, tara is to cross. So this tara normally is a root with motion. So this tina is active voice. So then if it is a transitive verb, the ta suffix mostly refers to the passive voice. Yes, you are correct.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So thank you for that. Any other questions before we go to the?
Yeah, and then also I think because so here I think the first sentence we should not use the word gathered monks. I think we should change that because it still have a passive meaning. Hello, hi Bhante. Yeah, I think we should change it to we should change it to an in between talk arose amongst the monks who were gathering or who were gathering. I think because if we use it like that, it has a passive meaning.
Who have gathered? Use have. Does it have passive meaning?
No, if we say among the monks who were gathering.
Who were gathering.
Yeah.
So doesn't this give a present participle meaning with this were?
Yeah, or we can then we say the monks who gathered, then this is fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Monks who gathered, right? Okay. Okay, thank you. So the men who gathered. Yeah. So it should be active voice meaning. Thank you very much, Dr. Rai. So we go to the next paragraph. Then atako bhagava sayana samayang patisallana vuttito yena pattana sala tenupasankami. So here it's a easy sentence. One approach to sala in the Dhamma hall. Yena pattana sala. You can see this. Pattana sala is in plus Upattana Sala Sankam. Right. So these are the Sandhi words that we use. So then Atako Bhagava Sayana Samhyam. So in the evening. So it is also locative, accusative case used in the meaning of locative. Accusative case used in the meaning of, sorry, not the locative, time, accusative of time. In the Blessed One, Patisallana Vuttito. Patisallana in the commentary it explains as the Palasamapati, as the attainment of fruition. Emerged from the fruition and went to the Upattana Sala. Upasankamitva Panyatte Asani Nisidi. Having approached Upattana Sala, he sat in the prepared seat. Panyata is prepared. Panyate asane, the seat which was prepared. He sat on the seat which was prepared. Then nisidi is the verb. Then we start the sentence with the gerund of that verb. Nisajja. Nisajja is the gerund form of nisidati. Nisajja ko bhagava bhikkhu amantesi. Having sat, he addressed the monks. If you have any questions regarding that. Okay, so then we go to the other next sentence. We have then the Buddha's question, Bhikkhu Amante. He addressed the monks. Kaya nutta bhikkhave etarahi kataya sannisinna, sannipatita, kacha panavo, antarakata, vipakata. So there are two sentences. Kai nutta bhikkhave etarahi kataya sannisinna, sannipatita. Etarahi is now, given in the vocabulary. Bhikkhave is the vocative case. If we add a subject, nu atta. Atta is a second person plural of the root us. So nu is the questioning particle. So we see this is second person plural. So then therefore the verb should be tumhe. The word should be subject should be tumhe. Subject we have to add as tumhe, because the reason is the verb is second person plural atta. The sentence ends here. The sentence ends here. So Buddha is asking, calling the monks, bhikkhave, tumhe, you, etarahi now, kaya, kathaya, sannisinna, sannipatita, atta. That's why we made the sentence. Tumhe, etara. Etarahi tumhe, or you can put it either any place. Etarahi tumhe, now, you, kaya, kathaya, sannipatita, sannisinna, attanu. You can put the nu at the end, the question form. So if you write this sentence for the easiness, bhikkhave, vocative case, etarahi, now, tumhe, kaya, kathaya, sannisinna, sannipatita, atta. Atta is equal to bhavata, right? Atta is equal to bhavata because it's the root us, second person plural, bhavata. So what he's asking is, Buddha is asking, now the verb of this sentence is atta, and this is also the explanation, not the original word, right? So in this word sentence, the verb is atta, but atta is following the two past participles, sannisinna and sannipatita, which are active past participles, who are sitting and who have gathered, who are sitting and who have already gathered in the active meaning. So you have been sitting here, atta, so we put the word atta here at the end, right? So sannipati, sannisinna, if you look at the red color sentence, sannisinna, sannipatita, atta. So atta is just filling the verb. Even the two words sannisinna and sannipatita has the meaning, verbal meaning. So then etarahi, now, tumhe kaya kathaya, with which talk? What kind of talk were you sitting? That's what the Buddha is asking. With what kind of talk you are sitting? With what kind of talk? The meaning is, so what was the talk you were making? So, but grammatically, this what is this usage? Because we cannot say this is an instrument. Because instrumental case, this is the instrumental case, that is instrumental. The case is used, but it is not the instrument of the action, because instrumental case can have many meanings. Instrumental of time, instrumental of adverb, instrumental of instrument. The meaning of instrument is one of the instrumental. So instrument case is one thing, the instrument is one thing. Instrument is the actual thing that is necessary to accomplish the action. So in this sentence, katha, even though it's used in the instrumental case, is not the instrument of the action, because you don't need the speech or talk to sit. The instrument is the thing that is needed to accomplish the action. So therefore, what is the meaning of this katha? What is the meaning of this case? So for this, it is a little bit difficult to explain in terms of Pāli. So the Bhasa Tika said, Venerable Janaka Bivansa suggests that this instrumental case is used in the instrument of adverb. So his idea is this is the instrument of adverb. This is like they were sitting with a doing some talk. So the manner they were sitting, when the how they after they were gathered, so they did it with the speech, maybe something like that. So Venerable Janaka also gives the translation. There is instrument of. So adverb is the word that explains. So this action here is Sannisina and Sannipatita, sitting, having gathered. So here, in that sense, so they give that instrumental of adverb. It is in the instrumental case, and the meaning is it is Sayadaw gives it as an adverb. Do you have any questions on this? I hope you could hear what I said. So then,
Yes, Bhante, it's clear.
okay. So Khachapanavo Antara Kata Vipakata. So then he is asking, with what kind of talk were you sitting, and what was the talk which was unfinished? Khachapanavo Antara Kata Vipakata. What was the talk that of yours which was not finished? Over here he is genitive case of yours, because in the previous sentence we can say bhikkhunang akata, tesam bhikkhunang antarakata vipakata, the talk of those monks was stopped, and here Buddha is using vo. This is the genitive case of tumhe, right? Genitive tumhe, tumma sound. Tumma is into plural so of tumha. So your talk, what was the talk, what was your talk which was interrupted before when I came, which was not finished? That is, he's asking the question. Yeah. So then he's explaining. Now, any volunteer to translate the next? Volunteer? You try.
I can continue, Bhante, yes.
Okay, sure. Venerable Rahul, please.
So we stayed after
The
the question.
birthday, yeah.
Ida Bhante Amahakam Pachabatam Pindapata Patikantanam Upattana Salayam Nisinanam Nisipati Patitanam Ayamantara Kata Ubdapati. Sir, on returning from the alms round after the meal, we were gathered together, seated in the assembly hall, and the talk arose. Then should I repeat, Bhante, the talk?
Yeah, we can, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
So everyone can listen again.
Yes. Konuko auso imesam duinam rajunam mahadana mahabogatarowa, mahakosatarowa, mahawijitatarowa, mahawahanatarowa, mahabalatarowa, mahidatarowa, mahanubhawatarowa, rajawa, magado seniyo, bimbisaro rajawa pasenadi kosaloti. Friends, which of these two kings has the more wealth or richest treasury, kingdom, vehicles, power, might, or majesty? The king Bimbisara of Magadha or the king Pasenadi of the kingdom of Kosala? Ayam kono ante anantara kata.
Antarakata.
Antara kata, wipakata, Atha Bhagava Anupatoti. Venerable Sir, this is the conversation that was left unfinished when the Blessed One arrived. Then the
Blessed One arrives. Then this one arrives. Approached, yeah.
Yeah, approached.
Then
Na kwetam bhikkhave tumhakam pati rupam kulaputanam sada agarasma anagariyam pabajitanam yam tume ewarupin katam kateyata. It is certainly not proper, monks, for you, sons of good families, who out of faith have gone. Yes? Who out of faith have gone forth from home to homelessness, that you should talk that talk. Sanipatitanam vo bhikkhave dvayam karaniyam. When you are or have assembled monks.
can you translate? I couldn't hear the last sentence.
Which one, Bhante? Sanipatitanam vo bhikkhave?
Yan tumhe, yeah. No, yam tumhe evarupin katang katayat. Oh, it's okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yan tumhe evarupin katam kateyata. Yeah, sorry. That you should, that talk, you should not talk that talk.
Okay.
Yeah. Sanipatitanam vo bhikkhave dvayam karaniyam. When you have assembled monks, you should do these two things or duties. Dhammi wa katha ariyo wa tunhi bhavot. Maintain noble silence.
Okay. Thank you very much, Venerable Rahula. Thank you. So here we have the last two paragraphs. Bhante translated well. The Bhante here, Venerable Sir, will tell to the Buddha. Either here, the same thing. Amhakam paccabhattam pindapata patikkantanam upattana salayan sannisinnanam sannipatitanam ayamantara katha udapadi. Among us who have restrained, having returned from the pindapata after the meal and gathered and sat in the Pattana Sala, this in between talk arose among us, Amahakam, pindapata patikkantana. Here they is telling, instead of bhikkhus, Amahakam, among us, the genitive plural. Konuko also imesan dinnang rajuna mahadanatarova, mahabhogatarova, mahakosatarova, mahabijitatarova, mahavahanatarowa, mahabalatarova, mahidikatarova, mahanubhavatarova, rajava magadu, senyo bibisaro, rajava pasenadi kosaloti. So this was their discussion. They're repeating it. We had a discussion debate who was more powerful in these aspects, whether it's king of Magadha or whether it was the king of Raja Pasenadi. So we call it Imesan Dinnan Rajunan is the Nidharana, choosing one out of many. In the previous sentence, Amhakan, the genitive case, Pindapata Patikkantanam is if something happens in between a group, we use the genitive or locative cases. Here also we can use even the locative case for Nidharana. Then Ayanko no Bhante Antarakata Vipakata. Here you can say Khachapana vo Antarakata Vipakata, genitive plural case of Tumne, which was the talk of viewers, which was the in between talk of viewers, which was interrupted. Ayanko no Bhante Antarakata Vipakata. This was the in between talk of us, ours. So this is no is instead of Tumha, genitive case of Amha. Amha is I. Amha. Right? So plural. So it's our talk. So they are, instead of say wo, they use no because they were referring to their talk. Vipakata. Atha Bhagava Anupattu. Then the Blessed One approached. approach. Before it was finished, when the wizard word came, they had to stop their talk. So then the Buddha says, the very Kulaputtanam Sadhagarasva Anagaryam Pabaditanam Yantum he Evarupam Katang Kapayat. So this is very important usage. I have given it in the vocabulary notes. So normally before that we'll divide the sandhis. Here nakvetang means it should be ko etang, ko plus etang, right? So we can leave ko without giving much attention on that. So then this is vocative case. Na etang tumhakang patirupang kulaputtanang saddha agarasma anagaryam pabajitana. Right? So we have to put a comma here. We'll put a comma in red color. Semicolon, red color. So this is the vocative case. We don't need to worry about that. So this na is connected to patirupa. Na patirupa. Na patirupa. So it's not suitable. So if you want to add a verb into this, we have to put patirupang hoti. Right, patirupang hoti. It's not suitable for you, right? Because we should normally have a verb on say. Patirupang nahoti. That's the better way to say. Na patirupang, or let's say patirupang. No, it's not suitable for you. Then tumhakang na patirupang nahoti. To you. So it's a dative case, right? To you it is not proper. So if you underline this sentence in an easier manner, so we have to write it. We write it in red color. Bhikkave. Right? Bhikkave. Then it's easy to the word order. Bhikkave. I'll leave the ko and all. The etang tumhakang patirupang na hoti. Or you instead you can say etang tumhakang na patirupa, right? Tumhakang. Who then explains about the tumhakang. Who are these? You. Kulaputtana saddha agarasmang anagaryam pabbajita. So this is the explanation of tumhakang. What kind of monks you have ordained? Kulaputtanang saddha agarasma anagaryam pabbajita. So this part explains about the monks, the nature of monks. It is not suitable for you, the clansmen, Kulaputta. There are two types of Kulaputta in us. Sometimes in ancient days, because the caste system was very strong in India, so some ordained from the Brahmin or Vaishya or Kshatriya clan, they are also Parakula, because regardless of their jati, monks who ordain can be called Kulaputta because of their behavior, Achara Kulaputta, to the ordination or before the ordination. Clansmen. Clansmen doesn't mean they are lay people, because we can say they ordained being clansmen. Then saddha agarasma anagaryam pabbajita. Tumhakang is a dative case. Kulaputtanang is dative case. Pabbajittanang is dative case. So what kind of monks? Pabbajittanang, the monks who ordain, people who ordain. Pabbajita is a monk, ordained person. Pabbajittanang is dative. How they ordain? Saddha agarasma anagaryam pabbajita. Saddhaya, faith. Salt of faith. So this is a meaning gender noun. So it's an instrumental singular form. But I have given the lecture notes. Sometimes this aya, ending aya, change into a. So this what has happened is aya changing into long R. Contract. It has changed. So this, because of this saddha, this change, even though it's used as saddha, otherwise some can get confused that this is a nominative case word. Saddhaya has become saddha. This happens in the patisankhaya yoniso, in our reflection of food. We normally say patisankhaya yoniso, but it should be called patisankhaya yoniso. So likewise, sometimes the ayah, the ending part can get shrink into a. Agarasma, agara is the house, household life actually in the real meaning, even though we use the word house, agara is household life. I mean, in coming out from the household life. Because pabbajita is, pabbajitana means ones who have ordained. Pabbajita, it's an active voice, passive participle. Active voice, sorry, past participle. Active voice, past participle, ordained. Having come out from the household life and ordained in the homelessness. Anagarya is the state of homelessness. Anagarya, ya suffix. So agara is house, so it refers to the household life. Anagarya, agara comes na agara. So the anagarya comes from na plus agara. Agara is house plus ya suffix. Ya suffix gives the state, the bhavata. So in the homelessness, who ordain in the homelessness. So here it's a anagariyang is a accusative case is been used. Accusative case is been used. So the translation is given pabbajitana. In the commentary it is given as anagariyang upagatana, one who has approached, or we can say one who has attained the homelessness. Anagariyam pabbajitana means anagariyam upagatana. So because of that, we are using the accusative meaning here. But even though we don't go into deep grammar here, because this is a very common phrase, agarasma anagariyam pabbajita. That is very common. That is very common in the having gone ordained, having gone from the home or had gone forth from household life to the homelessness. Yan tumme evaru ping katang kateyat. So the commentary says this yang is a kiriya paramasana. Kiriya paramasana means it refers to the action. It refers to the action. Normally, the relative clause, relative noun, is here also it's connected to the demonstrative noun. What is the demonstrative noun here? If you look in the red color one, yang etan. Etan tumhakan kulaputtanang saddha agarasma anagarayam pabbajittanang patirupan nahoti. It is not suitable for you. What is that? It is explained in the relative word yang. And the commentary says this yang refers to kateyata, to the verb. This yang refers to kateyata. So tumhe evaruping katang kateyata. So this is a optative noun, optative verb, kateyata. Speak, talk such talk. Normally it's a way of saying talk such talk. Just you can say it's talking. So therefore this is a verb. So we have to put this into a noun form as katana. Katana is speech, talking. I think we remember we gave in the lecture notes few types of verbal nouns ending in ta, past participle, antamana, present participle. Then ana and a suffixes, the ing form, katana, achana, talking, cooking, and so forth. So this yang refers to katana. Katana means talking. Katana means talking. So in the sentence, So we can use in the sentence, this is a one sentence, this tumhe evarupin katang katayat. You talk such talks, and you would talk such talk, you would talk such evarupin katang, you talk such talk. So that is not, though that is not suitable. So here katana is like the action of the done by these people. So either you can say this young refers to the entire clause. Even you say like that, it is not a problem. That you talk such talk, that act is not, that act, that act is not suitable. So this katanang is refers to young refers to katana, and in the demonstrative clause, in the main clause, young is connected with eta. So this is a one clause, tumhe evarupang kateng katayata. So that is not suitable for, give me 1 minute, sorry. Sorry, it interrupted. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. So now if we make it a proper sentence, like if you was connected to the katana, because young should be connected to a noun, and that noun is connected to the demonstrative noun. So this is the connection. Young is connected to katana, it is connected to etan. So tumhakang evaruping katang katana. That evaruping katang means this kind of a speech. Tumhakang, you are talking. You are talking of such kind of talk is not suitable, because this is a katana is an abstract noun, abstract like giving abstract meaning, ing, talking. So we once mentioned in the lecture notes the ing form, the subject of this abstract noun ing is written in genitive case. So therefore, object of the ing form can be written in genitive form or accusative form. The subject of this kind of noun, because it's an action noun, is written in genitive case. Its object is written in genitive or accusative case. Katassa katana, we can use. So this is just for the understanding how do we connect it. Even you take that young refers to the entire clause, it is not a problem. Again, even the governing part of a clause is the verb. So if it refers to the entire clause, it means it refers to the action. So this is what the grammatical point here I would like to explain. I will just first finish that. Then we can go to 1 or 2 questions before concluding. Then the Buddha gives that advice. Sannipatitanang wo bhikkhave dvayam karaniya. So bhikkhave is the vocative case. Sannipatitanang wo means should be done. Karaniyan is should be done. So this is a passive voice verb, like future passive participle, but it is better to say the action that should be done, that is outcome to be done. There are things like that. So two things should be done. Noun like this is katanang katati. This is a thing that we have to do. We have to do. So therefore, we can say this karaniyan. Normally, this is a passive voice verb. So because this is a grammatical point, if we go to the lecture notes, I think once we discuss on this matter, there are few suffixes. There are few suffixes. Verbal, I think we discuss on. Yeah. Words made from roots. Future passive participle, and future passive participle, tabba aniya. Tabba aniya is a passive voice. Passive voice. In passive voice, instrumental case. The passive voice in instrumental case. Therefore, here I'll discuss on this matter in the lecture about this grammatical rule. War is you can get the instrumental meaning, genitive meaning. The meaning should be taken sanni pati thana patitehi tumhehi, right? Tumhehi. Even you will have few meanings. One meaning instrumental, nominative and accusative. Have very various meanings. So here we actually it's the subject is written case. Sannipatitehi tummehi dvayam karaniyan. Two things should be done by you who have gathered. So sannipatitanam is the adjective of war, or sannipatitehi is the adjective of tummehi. Tumhehi dvayam karaniyan. Tumhehi dvayam. So, sannipatitanam is the adjective of tumhi. Tumhi or aryova tumhi bhavu, the noble silence. The noble silence, it can be the fourth jhana. According to some teachers, there are three ideas on this arya tumhi bhava. Yeah. So these are the points that I would like to discuss today. Do you have any one or two questions regarding the last paragraph?
Yes, Bhante. May I have a question about the relative clause? This yang tumhe uwarupe katang katayata.
Yeah.
So you gave one kind of a different way. So we need to understand it that way. But can we also rewrite that sentence as yang tumhe ewarupaya kataya katanang karayata?
Oh, so we'll write it. Wait. Yang tumhe. Yeah, can you please repeat?
Yeah. Yang tumhe ewa rupaya kataya
Kataya
katanang karayata.
Yeah, possible. Because we can say like because katanang katayata and katanang karayata is same. Yeah, instead of using this, we can use this also.
Yes, because the way you use
Possible.
it, you turn it into the katanang in that case is subject. But in this way, then katanang is still is an object.
Oh, it's an object. Yeah, it's an object. Then eva rupaya kataya katana. You do the speak. Then kataya. Why do we use the instrumental case here?
Because it's kind. We can use.
Shouldn't
It's not instrumental case, but there is
Genitive.
the
Genitive case. Genitive case. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, possible. Eva rupaya kataya katanang karayata. Yantum. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
In
you.
fact, when
That is
I
possible.
read,
This is yes, Doctor. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. In fact, I just want to share one thing. So, in fact, when I read that sentence, the whole sentence for the first time, I thought that the etang, what is that? Etang katang. I thought that is the vipatti vipallasa. No, it's not lingua vipallasa, because I thought that it refers to the katha. No, sorry. It's the etang pati rupang. Etang pati rupang. I thought that's the linga vipallasa, because this refers to the katha. So it should be the then I mean the feminine gender. But then I thought about that. Then it looks like the speech is not unsuitable, but the engagement in the speech is unsuitable. So that's why when when I read the commentary and your notes, then how I understand that. Okay, so thank you, Bhante.
Okay, so yeah. So here, young and to with the action. Yeah. So that's why we put it into a noun form. So because it's very odd otherwise, when we want to connect young with the noun, we change it in this way. So thank you for your suggestions, Doctor.
Bandit?
Okay. I think we have passed a lot of time. Yeah.
Could you please repeat the two kinds of gula
Yes.
Buddha? I couldn't hear clearly at the moment. You said there are two kinds of gula Buddha, right?
2 points of Kulaputta. Yeah. 2 points of Kulaputta is Jatika and Achara Kulaputta. Achara Kulaputta. I'll write it on the lecture notes. 2 kinds of Putta. So they are the Jati Kulaputta and Achara. Right. So then we also have Arya Tunhi Bhav. Aryo Tunhi Bhavo is threefold. Either it is the practicing of samatha and vipassana, then the second jhana or the fourth jhana. These are the 3 meanings. Okay. So shall we call it a day then?
Okay, thank you very much, Bhante.
Okay,
thank you very much, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
And one more, because we have done the Sunday class 4 times. Would like to now the Udāna on Sunday. I would like to do the Udāna class on Sundays I shared, and any questions related to the Pāļi.
Sorry, Bhante, what do you mean? I couldn't catch that.
Because we have done, we we thought of doing 1 month, 4 classes on Sunday. Then we were thinking of doing 2 classes for Udāna, right, after 1 month. So we have done so far 12 classes. So we have done the 4 classes on Sunday.